Welcome to the daily intimacy that happens once a week. I love things like that, though. So it makes me laugh, and that's good. So welcome to our second gathering of 2021. We have a nice big group this morning, which is so lovely, and people here from all over the country, like I was saying. And so happy to have a dear friend of many years back again for her second visit to the Daily Intimacy. I'll talk about Tara in a moment. We'll just dive right into a centering, and then I'll introduce Tara and we'll take it from there. So wherever you are, however you are, I just invite you to have a breath and gently close your eyes. And let's do 3. And we have Tara here. We always do breath, but let's do 3 really deep breaths. Exhale with a sound or a sigh. You're in a space where nobody can hear you, unless there's somebody else in your home, of course. But let's have a breath in. And exhale again with a sigh. And again, deep breath in. And exhale, releasing any energy that you aren't needing today. Just invite you to release from your fingertips as you exhale. Let it go. As you inhale, I invite you to hold space for you coming into deeper alignment with yourself. So as you breathe in, I invite you to connect with the central channel in the body and kind of bring your energy to the center of yourself and send also the breath after that down to the earth. So breathing into the central channel, exhale down to the earth. Into the central channel, exhale down to the earth. We take a moment to thank Gaia, Pachamama, however you relate with the earth and her energy. I'll take a moment to tune in, feel her support, her nourishment, her willingness to receive anything and everything and compost it all back to love. What an incredible gift to be able to have that support in our lives in any moment and in every moment. So continuing with that rhythm, breathing into the central channel, just right into the center of your being, and then exhale down into the earth. And as you continue with that rhythm, I invite you also to see in your mind's eye yourself standing or sitting, lying down, however you are, inside the egg shape of your luminous field. So the luminous field is like the light body, the energy body that surrounds your physical body. And you can see it in the shape of an egg from the feet, your feet, where you either standing or sitting, and then have it, comes around your body and up overhead, over the crown, connecting you with earth and spirit and supporting your alignment as you move through the world today. So another deep, deep breath all the way down to the root chakra. Any micro movements to kind of support you this morning. Exhale and gently open your eyes when you're ready. Yeah, you might, like Laura, kind of shake things out of your hands and your fingertips, your shoulders. Yeah, this movement is good for us right now. There's so much energy out there. So nice to see some of you back that I haven't seen in a while, and so lovely to see new faces. Again, even if you're not in the greatest spot, I'd love to have you turn your video on if you feel like you can. So Welcome. So I am so excited to have Tara back. Tara and I met, I don't even know, it was a really long time ago. And there were so many connections. There were like friends, there was JourneyDance, there's breath, there were so many places where we were near each other, but hadn't, yet connected face to face. And then, just sending gratitude to the friend who connected us right now in this moment, because it was connecting like such two really bright lights together, and just the energy that I feel like I share with you when I'm with you feels really potent and powerful, and reflects back to me, who I am, because your light so bright. I wanted to have Tara back. Tara came, it was a long time ago now, sometime in 2020. And we had a fabulous time and a powerful time. And I thought about having Tara back because she's doing something that I actually did years ago, which was a breathwork training. It was a long time ago. When was that? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. 20 years ago. But so Tara started talking about she's been offering breathwork for years and years and years, and is finally sharing her gift doing this solo. I know you've done some other supportive trainings, but offering her own breathwork training and breath awakening training, facilitation training, which is anytime I have done any trainings for myself, they're all for myself to learn and grow and heal as I participate in the training, and then the skills to share the gifts as well come from that training. So it's wintertime, we're still in the pandemic, we've all got lots of time, and I just thought it would be wonderful to introduce you to Tara again. She has 3 spaces left in the Breath Awakening training that starts this weekend. So I wanted to put that right out. If that's something that calls to you, either right in this moment or after we spend this time, you can reach out to Tara, and I'll send out the info on how to do that. And with that, welcome, Tara. So happy to have you here.
Oh, so grateful to be here, Robyn, and thank you. Yeah, I felt like I reconnected with a soul sister when we met. So the feeling is completely mutual, and I love the synergy that happens when we are in each other's energy fields, whether it be physically in person or via the Zoom, the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, so just so very grateful for that synergy that's created. And I'm just looking at these beautiful people that you have called in with your daily intimacy that meets one week. That I love that too. And yes, thank you for sharing about the training. I'm super excited. When things started really escalating with the pandemic, and I moved to a virtual platform, all of a sudden people just started coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I want to learn how to do this breath thing, which makes sense since we have a pandemic that is impacting the lungs. And so I had to step out beyond my small self and say, okay, I've been doing breath work and assisting trainings now for almost 20 years, and yeah, let's do this. And so we launch on Saturday. It's super exciting. And, after today, if it feels like something that resonates with you, please reach out. I would love to expand the circle and share this wisdom with as many people as I possibly can, because for many reasons, pandemic aside, the world needs people breathing into their light and shining their light brightly right now, which is, yes. So, I recently, I'd like to read something that I recently put out to my community about the state of affairs we find ourselves in right now. Actually, I'll summarize. As we tune into the world around us, people are having a variety of feelings depending on how much they're tuning in. I recommend that people tune into the world, but then quickly come back in and tune into the peace that lives within their heart. And so as you tune into the outer world and you feel what's going on, many people are called to action. And oftentimes that action comes from a place of frustration, fear, rage, those kinds of feelings. And those kinds of feelings are valid when you look out into the world and you see things that really just don't align with who you are and who you believe how you believe the world should be. And so those feelings come up. And so what I'm encouraging my community to do is to go breathe into those feelings, breathe into whatever it is that you are experiencing as you feel yourself as part of this global energy. Breathe into the heart, really allow yourself to feel all of those emotions, and then come back to that place of peace, come back to the inner wisdom. And it's from that place of the inner wisdom and the inner knowing and the true love that you are. It's from that place that we then take divine right action. And so when Robyn asked me if I would come on here today, I'm like, yes, let's get more people tuning in. Of course, Robyn, the majority of people who sign up for your daily intimacy are already heart-centered. But we just want to, if you're feeling, yes, but if you're feeling that wonkiness from tuning into the outer world, we're going to spend some time really deeply connecting to the breath in a powerful but gentle way today. Yes. So nice deep breath, everyone, once again. Good. And if you have done breath work, emotional release style breath work before, can you put a 1 in the comments and raise your hand? Raise your hand, put a 1 in the comments, just so I can get a visual. And okay.
So like rub your tummy, pat your head at the same time.
Yes. Okay. Good. I'm getting visual. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, we've got quite a few here. This is great. Okay. Good. And if you have never done any type of healing work using your breath, can you put a 2 in the comments? Okay. Again,
but maybe not using the breath.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Sweet. All right. Excellent. Okay. So today, we have this next approximately 35-40 minutes together. What I'd like to do is share with you a little bit about the style of breath work that we'll be doing here today, then give you a minute to get yourself comfortable. If you're able to lie down, that'll be good at that moment, but if you have to stay seated, that's okay too. Then we're going to practice the breath, really feeling the breath in the body in maybe new ways for some of you. And then after, we'll come back and share about our experience and what it was like to really connect into these different parts of your being using the breath. Okay, so when you hear the term breath work, it can mean so many different things. The style of breath that I do is, I call it breath awakening. And basically what breath awakening is a way to tune into the body, bring breath into any places where we are holding tension, and allow that breath to loosen up the tension and clear out whatever it is that's causing the tension. And from there, as we breathe and we cleanse our being energetically with the breath, we then make space and consciously anchor in new vibrations of love and peace, health, and well-being. So when we're first born into this world, our bodies, majority of us, I should say, have the ability to breathe fully. We are meant to be expansive, expressive beings. And if you tune into kids under the age of 5, they are expansive and they are expressive when they're nurtured in a way and they feel good about themselves. They'll sing, they'll dance, they'll scream, they'll yell, they'll throw a temper tantrum in the middle of church or the grocery store. Kids, we come into this world fully expressive, majority of us, and especially if we're nurtured. But what happens is over time, we are taught to contract our breath in order to control our emotions, in order to fit into the society or the culture in which we are being raised. We learn how to navigate our emotions by using the breath. And for many people over time, because they want to fit in and be part of the community, we're wired that way. We are constantly suppressing emotions by holding the breath. And over time, this becomes, if we feel like we're taking a full breath, but because of all of those times that we have suppressed emotions by holding the breath, we've become accustomed to less breath moving through the body. And so, if you're in this group, you've most likely found ways via yoga, tai chi, tantric practices to get the energy moving through the body. So whatever modality you use, if you incorporate a daily breath practice in addition to those, it just takes it to the next level and really allows us to free up those places in our body where we've held old emotions, old traumas, free them up and allow them to, we get to gather the wisdom from those experiences and then clear out the energies that are no longer serving us so that we can be fully embodied, living our life on purpose, feeling the passion and the creativity and the beauty that surrounds us. And if we're practicing that regularly, when all hell breaks loose around us, if we've had the practice in place, we can quickly make our way back to that peaceful place that lives within each of us and really nurture that. Because when each of us nurture that, we then can have that ripple effect out into the world. Okay, real big breath. Ah, beautiful. Any questions or comments based on that brief introduction? Okay, good, good. All right, so before we get started, I want to share with you the basics of this style of breath work. There are 3 parts to this breath work. We have an open mouth, connected breath. This is to energize and really help cleanse and clear and get the energy moving. And then we have sound and movement, where we'll be using sound and movement of the body, similar to what we were doing just a moment ago, to help free up and clear out even more deeply. And then we'll switch to a nose breath, where we'll be breathing in nice and slow and full. We'll be exhaling slowly and fully. And then at the bottom of the breath, we'll have a pause and we'll rest there in the quietness of the breath, or the quietness of the emptiness or the lack of breath in the body. And then we'll repeat that cycle a few times. So there's so many different styles. The open mouth breath, when we drop our mouth open, I like to encourage people to think of seeing dolphins jumping out of the ocean in that moment, like where you're in complete awe. And then invite the mouth to stay in that position. And as we breathe in through the mouth, I invite you to place a hand over over the middle of your belly, over your diaphragm. And when you breathe in, this is where the breath originates from. And the breath drops down from the belly, it drops down into the pelvic floor. And it's as if we're filling up a round vase. So the breath comes into the pelvic floor and it fills up. You'll feel the expansion in the rib cage. You'll feel expansion, slight expansion in the shoulder blades. When the shoulder blades expand, the chest opens and the heart lifts. And then when we feel that lift of the heart or the blossoming of the heart, we can then invite the exhale simply to drop out. Okay, so we breathe in through the mouth, the diaphragm drops down, it puts pressure into the pelvic floor almost instantaneously because it's compressing all the internal organs. From that pelvic floor, you'll feel the low back and the hips, slight pressure, abdomen rises, rib cage separates, shoulder blades slightly separate, chest lifts from that motion, from the breath coming up and lifting the chest. Heart blossoms, and then we drop the exhale. So often, because of the way we were raised and the people around us and the way they breathe, we have this tendency, when we're not conscious or we're not paying attention to the breath, to lift with these upper chest muscles. And what happens is it creates that chronic tension through the chest, through the upper back, the neck, the head, often leading to discomfort and headaches, etc. Okay. It also, if we're lifting here, we're not using the diaphragm, we aren't stimulating the vagus nerve in the way that we could be to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and restore, the calming response. So when we breathe diaphragmatically and we get the breath moving through the whole body, starting in the lower half, we actually are turning on the rest and restore part of our brain. Oh, good yawn. The yawning. I love when people start yawning when we talk about breath, because it's the body's like, hey, I want some more of that breath in me. And so it's very common when we start our breathing practices that people will start yawning. And I invite you to exaggerate them and make them big and really get the fullness out of that yawn, because it's the body's way of resetting to really help you get the most amount of breath into your body. Okay. So, any questions about the mouth breath? Okay, so out there in the world, in your day-to-day living, it's recommended that you nose breathe. So I often get the question, I heard you're not supposed to mouth breathe. And so I'd like to address that very quickly. Mouth breathing, when we drop the jaw open and we loosen here, it actually creates an opening through the heart, through the diaphragm, through the hips. So we drop the mouth open this way. It allows the most breath to get into the body at the fastest pace. And so as we're doing this cleansing part, we want to just be flooding the body with the breath. Now, we only do that for a short period of time. It's an exercise. And then in your day-to-day living, when you are breathing through your nose, we have done the cleansing and the expanding of the breath capacity, so that when you do nose breathe in your day-to-day life, it's actually more effective and more efficient for you. Okay, so just want to address anybody who has heard through their other practices that mouth breathing isn't okay. It really does serve its purpose, and there is, in my opinion, it's as long as the breath is coming in and out, if you can practice breathing through both your mouth and your nose and really use it for healing purposes, the intention behind the breath is what makes the most difference. Okay, good. All right, so let's get this party started. If you guys can, if you're able to get to a position where you are lying down, that would be awesome. And I'm looking at a question here.
That's okay. Let's skip the question for now and just go to the breath practice. And
okay.
We'll talk in the end.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you, Robyn. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Matthew. I just want to get to the practice.
Yes, I understand. Okay. So finding a comfortable position, pillow under your knees if you can. If you have to stay seated, that is a-okay. Just get yourself comfortable. Make sure that you have space. Loosen up any constrictive clothing. Good, good. All right. Good, and really exaggerating those yawns. I love it. Sweet. So I invite you to place one hand on your lower abdomen. One hand over your heart center or your middle of your upper chest. And become aware of how the breath moves through your body. Becoming aware of how the breath is moving through your body. And if you feel comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and tune in. Yeah, and if you're wearing glasses and you feel comfortable taking them off, I invite you to do so. Yeah, oh, I love it. Everyone's taking off their glasses and massaging their temples, and it's beautiful, giving yourself that nurturing, witnessing the breath and feeling where your body is connected to the surface below you. That's it. Beautiful. And if you have animals close by, they are wonderful facilitators. Send a little love and gratitude to them for their presence in your life. And now I invite you to deepen the breath. And as you do, sense the diaphragm dropping down, putting pressure into the pelvic floor, feeling the expansion in the back and in the rib cage, shoulder blades, chest lifts, heart opens. Feel that breath, and then allow the exhale to fall out. Good. And after a few big, deep breaths, begin to circulate the breath so it becomes rhythmic. Good, and continue with that rhythmic nature, really feeling the expansion. If you're noticing any tension in any parts of your body, you can send the breath there. Sending the breath to those parts of your body that feel a little tense. And as you exhale, feeling the tension releasing, the body softening. That's it. Beautiful. Good. And at this time, we set the intention that this breath experience be in our highest good. We set the intention that it's in the highest good for all beings concerned. Giving thanks to your body for opening fully to this rhythmic, healing breath. Taking a moment to tune into your hips, your low back, just adjusting if they need to be adjusted. Good. Inviting the shoulders to soften, inviting the jaw to soften even more. Noticing the eyes, inviting the eyes to soften. Keeping the breath circulating. Inviting the skull, the scalp to soften. Good. Keeping that breath circulating. Really feeling that fullness. Jaws relaxed and open. And remembering that these are all suggestions. that you know what's right for you. So if you feel the need to switch to a nose breath or to move your body to a different position, remember to take care of yourself. This is your practice. This is for you, and your body has innate wisdom. So if it feels right, you can pick up the pace a little bit. Play around with the fullness and the speed and see how your body responds. I'm going to play a little bit of music in the background. How's the volume? Good. Continuing that circular breath. Each breath bringing more and more love to every particle of your being. It's very normal to feel a little tingly. That's it, breathing right from the pelvis all the way up to the heart. Really feel that heart awaken. And that heart awakening comes from connecting deeply with your own personal power in the pelvic floor, the abdomen. That's it. Softening the shoulders even more. That's it. Beautiful. Moving your body in whatever way you feel called to in order to open the breath even more. That's it, staying with the breath. Beautiful, coming back into that circular, rhythmic nature. Now I invite you to play around with making sound. I'll start a sound that you're welcome to join into, but feel free to make it your own. Find the sound that wants to come out of you. And so finding that deep breath. And again. As long as you can, and if you feel called to, you can even add movement to it, so moving and making sound. Shimmy and shake. What sound wants to move through you as you move your body and you breathe fully? Breathing into your hips. What sound does your hips want to make? Wagging your tail as if you're a happy puppy and allowing that movement to move right through the body. Your sound is welcome here. Yeah, I love these movements that I'm seeing. Good, good, good. Yes. One more big sound if it calls to you. And feel the breath now. If you haven't made a sound or moved yet, just do something small that feels right to you. And then check in and see how the breath shifts. Breathe down into the pelvis and notice, is there more room there? Is there more expansion in the rib cage? Does the heart lift a little more freely? Sound and movement helps open these places so that we can then fill up with the beauty and the love and the peace that is also very much present in our world. And now, if it feels right to you, I invite you to begin to breathe in and out your nose. Filling up, filling up, filling up. And with the nose breath, you can overfill and really luxuriate in that inhale and feel the nooks and crannies of the torso filling. Fill, 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 fill until you can't fill anymore. And then slowly let that exhale leave the body. Slowly exhaling. And when you get to the bottom and you're completely empty, I invite you to surrender there. Surrender into the quiet, empty space and ask your body, what wisdom do you have for me today, beloved? What wisdom? Beautiful. And if your body is calling you to a different position, listen. Is it child's pose? Is it fetal position? I now invite you to take a deep breath in and sigh it out and make your way back to your natural breath rhythm. Quietly witnessing the breath moving throughout the body. And another deep breath in. And as you exhale, fluttering your eyes open, becoming aware of the space around you. Good, good. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. So if you could position yourself, move very slowly, especially if you're going from the floor or the couch back to your seat. There we go. I love seeing people's faces when they emerge from a mini breath session. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. I'd love to take a few minutes, just checking the time. Yeah, I'd love to take a few minutes to answer any questions and or hear about people's experience.
Yeah, if you want to, as you slowly transition, you can, the way we do it here is we put me in the chat, and then we know that
Oh, good.
you would like to share. I can't form words because of the breath. Put me in the chat if you'd like to share, and then we'll invite you to unmute.
Perfect. Emily.
So any comments in the chat, but let's go to Emily first.
Okay.
Yay, so nice to see you here, Emily. Welcome back.
Hello. I got this fun hood for Christmas.
I love it. Great color.
Yeah, you look adorable.
I've been like really down lately, and the like yelling, the sound, letting out the sound made me laugh, and I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, beautiful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's good to have you here. Yeah. Sweet. And going to the chat.
Else would like to share what the experience was like, how you're feeling now. Oh, great. Lalit. let's have you unmute and welcome.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, the breathing was interesting. I wasn't yawning before, but after you mentioned it, it was good. And I lay down. There were times when I yawned like 5 times in succession and just let it out fully. And my whole body wanted to move, so I let that happen as well. Um, Surprisingly, my eyes started to water at some point. I don't know why, but yeah, there was a whole body reaction for me. It's uh, quite good. At least the moving of the body and the yawning felt really good. And then when I was just sitting and kind of just breathing and meditating, I could imagine that the breath was filling all of me. Um, I know that was imagination because it's not going into the back of my head, but that's how I was feeling. So that was a great, just energetic expansion. Thank you.
Sweet. Yes. Thank you. Sweet. Thank you so much.
Great to hear.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's
Donna says she's feeling bliss. Emily says still feeling tingly.
tingly. Yeah. Anyone else have that tingly sensation? Yeah.
I didn't today, but I usually do.
Yeah. Yes.
Karen says I feel more evenly aware throughout my body, more grounded. Yeah.
Nice.
That language, evenly aware throughout my body.
Yeah.
And Jim feels relaxed.
Excellent.
Anybody not feel relaxed and have the breath like activate feelings? I mean, I feel like that's what was happening for me because I'm a breath work person, and as soon as I activate breath, it's like I just have tears to cry, and feelings releasing. Yeah, it's really sad. And
Robyn, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, it's not always blissful. No, sometimes it can just pull up some of the ooky stuff that really is that we've been storing, and better out than in is my theory on that.
Yeah, just feelings, any of them. I mean, so much has gone on since we met last Tuesday. Like, hello, so much has gone on since we met last Tuesday. Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, Donna, do you want to unmute, sweetie? It'd be great to hear your voice. Thank you, Mitchell and Richard and Emily.
Yeah, it was quite the experience as I started to breathe and the emotions just started bubbling up and tears started to form. And I just kept telling myself, let go, release, and literally could just feel that release of emotions coming up from the root on up through the heart. And there were times when my throat got choked up and my tones changed.
Yes.
And it just kind of went with it. And it was such a wonderful feeling to let go of some of those emotions, like you said, with all that's been going on.
Yes.
And then to find myself in such an incredibly blissful, peaceful place is just such a gift. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, it's such a short time too,
Right?
I've done some private sessions with you during the pandemic, and we spend, what is it? Is it an hour and a half?
It depends. We block off 2 hours. It can take an hour and a half to 2 hours for the full process of checking in, having the full experience. And we want to give your body as much time. So sometimes it's 45 minutes that we're actually breathing, and sometimes it's an hour and 15, depending on, and majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, people are like, it felt like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And it just,
such a timeless space that we go into. It's like an altered state of being, but just having that time to breathe with you and release whatever I've been holding on to has been so valuable.
Yes.
Yeah. It's nice to get a short experience with it, and then, just the
and
possible as you continue.
And just wanted to remind people that just this short time that we've activated the breath, you may notice that there is a delayed response. So you might get off the call and, be going for a walk and the tears then come. So it's not always, or a release of some sort. Giggling hysterically can also happen, but the feelings can come up. And I also wanted to just answer the 2 questions, if that's okay, about the mouth breathing. There is a book that just recently came out called, you know what, I'll send it to Robyn for part of the follow-up, because it's The Lost Art of Ancient Science. And it's called Breath, The Lost Art of an Ancient Science. And they've done a lot of research about the blood gas levels and the way that nose breathing impacts the body versus mouth breathing. And the research is finding that nose breathing just is a little more healthy for the body. And that book goes into the science of it and explains exactly why. So if you're curious about that, Matthew, I recommend it. It's a good read. And breathing, the lost art of an ancient science. I'm pretty sure that's the title.
I put something in the chat. I bet they'll find it.
Okay, excellent. And then why lying down? I find that the lying down position actually helps the body surrender and soften more. Whereas when we're upright, doing upright, again, remember, with the mouth breathing, we're going for fullest expansion possible. So if we can completely surrender the body and not have to hold ourselves upright, there's just more spaciousness that can happen with the breath.
Yeah.
Okay. And your view, Sean, the view that with you lying down and the ocean, is it the ocean behind you and that big, beautiful tree?
Yeah, he's on the beach.
Oh man, it was gorgeous. Yeah.
Yep. Sean Weir, daily walks on the beach.
I love
Connect with
it.
him on Facebook and see amazing photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, thank you, Tara. Thank you so much. Oh,
Yes.
great. Lalit put the oh, James Nestor. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So he put the link in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. The new science of a lost art. Slightly different.
There we go. I had the words.
Whatever.
You know.
All good.
Oh, thank you. Well, Robyn, thank you again. And please feel free, anyone who has questions, you can find me breathawakening.com. I would love to, I offer a discovery session. So if you're curious about doing more work, you can sign up for a complimentary discovery session. I'm happy to answer questions there and dive a little more deeply with you.
Yeah. And all the things you're offering, group breath work, individual, and the training that starts Saturday. So
that's
good luck
right.
with that, Sarah.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure being here. And I wish you all deep peace.
Yes, deep peace, definitely. Lots of love to all of you. Please come back next week. We have Lisa Rosenthal, and she's going to talk about and teach us about color and using color as part of like in a therapeutic way to bring us again every day to a place of peace. So I'm really looking forward to that. Quite different. Yeah. Lots of love. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your hearts. I feel all of them. Yes. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon, next week, if not sooner. Lots of love, everybody. Have a blessed day. Thanks so much, Tara.
Thank you, Robyn. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.